hello again. And here we are again at the Roland's Reviews YouTube channel. Hope that everyone had a wonderful week. I know that I did. And we will continue our conversation about what's going on politically. And again, the great thing about this channel is that we are an older demographic. So we agree to disagree on some things, which is fine. If everyone believed and agreed on the same thing, it would be too monotonous. Okay, so I love differences. How's everyone doing? Tiana, Jermaine, Chef, everyone who's coming into the chat room now, please hit that little thumb, that like button. Those of you who have Facebook, Instagram, please share this video on your various forms of social media. All right, so I just wanted to share some more information with you because information is knowledge and power. And so no one needs to be fooled or bamboozled. And the information I do share with you, I share links, so you can use the links that I share, but you can also do your own research, which I always suggest. How you doing, prime time, Phil? So just keep that. How you doing, Rhonda? All right, they're coming in from the Jobu Sports Report now. We know our Cowboys are playing today at 4 o'clock. Four between 4:25. I don't know the exact start time. So just wanted to talk about some of these uh, things that some of you have heard. And yeah, prime time. I know I won't be on long. No one can compete with Dallas Cowboy football. I do know that. So just wanted to come on and share some information with you so that you could possibly make the best decision that you can when it comes to voting. And again, folks, if you haven't been here, how you doing, Gina? If you haven't been here, we've been talking about, don't just vote straight party line. That's not what you should do. Actually, do your research and find out where people stand. Make sure that their values also align with your values. And then, try to make the best choice that you can. Sometimes there are slim pickings. We don't have a lot of people to choose from so far as morals are concerned. That's okay. As long as you do your research, folks, no one's going to be perfect, and all you can do is make the best decision with what the information that you've researched or that you've gathered. So that's right, Gina. My ladies from the Jobu Sports Report, also known as BAM Media, Mark Holmes' channel. We always represent, and you ladies and gentlemen just don't know how much I appreciate you coming over to support me, especially on Football Sunday. So I just wanted to make you aware of some information, because again, knowledge is power, and knowledge is empowering. Okay. So just so you know, um, Joe Biden, and again, we don't know who the nominee will be. I know he is running, but you need to know a little bit of the history about some of the people. How you doing, Tina? That you're voting for. And some of you may have heard of some of this. Some of you may say, "Oh, wow, all right." Some things have been buried, and some things they don't want to get out. Uh, right, Rhonda? Okay. And so with Joe Biden's record, he did support segregationists. Okay. We know we're talking about in the Jim Crow South, basically, uh, when, everything was separate and unequal, of course. So he also claimed to be a staunch civil rights activist. Okay. And that he was a staunch advocate for civil rights. And that's some things he said he did. People did some research and found out, no, he didn't actually do that. Okay. And let's not forget, he was involved with how you doing, K Will? The 1994 crime bill, AKA, just so those of you who don't know, it was also called Biden's Law. Okay. And everything I'm saying, if you don't believe me, research, look it up. Okay. It's all over the internet. Okay. Which resulted in the mass incarceration of minorities, basically. All right. So look that up. He did support Democratic colleagues who were openly racist. If you don't know who these gentlemen are, I have a couple of names for you. You can look them up as well. Any of you familiar with James Eastland? Okay. One of his colleagues that he was friends with. He said that Black Americans belong to an inferior race. Look it up. Rhonda's lovely spark says, with time, the voters hold politicians accountable. That's right, Rhonda. That's what we need to do. And that's what I'm trying to do with this podcast. Hold them accountable. Don't just say, hey, because you're a certain party, I'm going to vote for you. No. Where do they stand on the issues that are most important to you? Okay. Also, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Herman Talmadge, another close colleague. He was a segregationist who opposed school integration. If you're familiar with any of these people, please type it in the comment section. Strom Thurmond, I think most of you are familiar with. He was a staunch segregationist. Some of you may be familiar with him because, of course, he had a biracial daughter as well. And that finally, people had been talking about that for years, and then finally everything came out. Do you guys remember in the 2008 election, Biden referred to Barack Obama as being articulate, clean, and bright, as if that was, not the norm, as if that was something that doesn't normally happen. Okay. Also, he's used in referring to Indian immigrants from India. He sometimes talks in an accent that's supposed to be mocking that group of people. He also associated Indian immigrants with Dunkin' Donuts and 7-Eleven chains. Okay, and we know that's not right. When referring to, and depending on how old some of you are, and referring to inner city busing, we know that's when they were trying to get the schools. So in the North, you had what you call de facto segregation. So it was because of, where people lived. And so we know busing. You remember Boston? How many of you love history as much as I do and are familiar with that? With the busing that took place in Boston, especially, it was brutal. If you're familiar with that, just type it in the comment section. So, in referring to inner city busing, bringing Black students to white schools, Biden said, and this is a quote, that would create a racial jungle. And I don't want my children going there. Now those are his words. Okay. And I have the link in the description box. So tell me what you think about that. And also, in reference to that same topic, Joe also said that those integration plans offered really just a quota system to assure that a certain number of Blacks, or he said Chicanos, or whatever in each school. That's what he said. Those are his quoted words. Um, that to him, that's a racist concept that to come up with. And he said, what it says is, in order for your child with curly Black hair, meaning someone of color, with brown eyes and dark skin, to be able to learn. Oh, yes, Gina, you can check the videos out. Anything, he needs to sit next to my blonde hair, blue eyed son. And this was from a 1975 interview, right, Gina? Oh, my. And also, Joe Biden also quoted and also stated that the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro. Now, he's made that statement, in reference to segregation. And we know up under segregation, it was not good for people of color. All right, so just look. You can look these things up. Oh yes, yes, Rhonda. That I think that was all over the news. Rhonda's referencing Dianne Feinstein. She passed away. Okay, and so again, don't just take this and say, oh, this is something that's made up. If you do research, everything that I find, you can find as well. I don't know if you're familiar with, how you doing, Quiana? Biden was talking when he was on the campaign trail. He was talking to a group of Black students or children, and said, I learned about roaches from being around Black children. So he was trying to say, when he was younger, when he was smaller, he played with Black children, and they had cockroaches. That's what he was referencing. Okay, so Rhonda said Biden paid off my student loans. He got my vote. Okay, Rhonda said that he paid off her. Okay, Good. So Rhonda said her student loans were paid off. All right. Also, poor kids. This is a quote. Okay, like I said, this is just something he was quoted as saying. Poor kids are just as talented and bright as white kids. So, folks, there are poor children and kids of all races and colors. So it's not just people of color. All right. So he also again disparaging Indian immigrants from India. I watched an interview. I think I shared that in the comment section too, where he pretended to talk like someone from India. He said the call centers, when you call them, you have everyone has an accent, Indian accent, so you can look that up too. Quiana knows what I'm talking about. Thank you, dear. Biden said that black people, I think when he was on the campaign trail, I did share that too. He said that black people will be put back in chains when he was running for president. He told them if they didn't vote for him. So how many of you are familiar with his interview with Charlemagne the God? Okay. And all I'm saying, folks, regardless of which way you vote, hold people accountable, Democrats and Republicans. So, how many of you are familiar with the statement that Biden made while he was being interviewed by Charlemagne the God? Rhonda Moore, why do black people like criminals? Because of our trial. Okay. Rhonda had a very good question there. Okay. Um, uh, and Trump, excuse me, not Trump, Biden was quoted as saying, if you have a problem figuring out who to vote for, um, if you're having a problem figuring out if you're for me or for Trump, he said in his vernacular, then you ain't black. Now, we all know if someone on the other side said that, everyone would have been up in arms. So, all I'm saying is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. He shouldn't get a pass. Rhonda said, "Oh, white man, racist remark." Okay, or I used to. Okay, Rhonda. Yeah, but I'm saying, Rhonda, that he got a pass. You can't have two different sets of rules, right? Damn. If someone on the other side made that statement, it would have been broke the internet. Oh my God, he said this. He said that. Um, So Rhonda said, with time, we teach ignorance on how to be better. All right. Politicians are better by us holding right. And it's all about accountability. What Rhonda said. That's exactly what it's all about. And so that's why, again, um, I enjoy talking about this topic. We all hear things, we all see things, across various forms of social media, and we all need to become informed. Just besides playing games on our phones, and most people have a tablet or a laptop or even a desktop. Do some research before you vote. I've been preaching this for a while now. If you haven't seen my last 2 to 3 videos, I've been talking about this incessantly. So, regardless of the side that you vote for, you need to know where they stand. Rhonda said it's about what the party represents. The Democrat Party, not Biden, represents my interests. Okay. Nothing Republican matches my interest. The party. Okay, Rhonda. Okay. Good. And then Rhonda, the other Rhonda, so we have more than one Rhonda in here. Rhonda Morrison said, I am more worried about what politicians do, not what they say. Why are we always focusing on air coming across people's teeth? Okay. So Rhonda has an excellent point there. Um, Quiana said the government needs to be fixed all the way around. And I so agree. I've been preaching that, Quiana, because you've been here, I think, for the last few videos. I've been saying that forever. It's broken, folks. And we know that it's broken. So all we can try to do is, again, research and hold people accountable. And if I vote for you, and you made all these promises and then you didn't try to really, follow through with the promises that you made, well, you're not going to get my vote the next time. I don't care. I don't care about party. So accountability is the operative word, and that's what we have to do, folks. And that's all I wanted to talk about. So check out the videos that I have in the description box, okay? and tell me what you think in reference to the statements. And guys, if you go back, all of us have said inappropriate things. Every human being that's living has done that. Gina said, yes, exactly. Everyone should be held accountable, right? So we've all said inappropriate things, particularly, of course, if you're angry at someone. If you go back, you can find things that we've all said that we'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. So that's part of the human element, people. Rhonda Morrison said Biden colored up the White House, passed policies that are going to be better for our planet, and trying to excuse debt that by far affects Black women from having wealth. Okay, I think, Rhonda, you're referencing student loans. I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about. Okay. So again, those of you who have student loan debt, all right, do your research and see where people stand on that issue. I told you my most important last video, we talked about what's particularly important to me, education. And now, since I'm not 25 years old anymore, obviously, the older you get, healthcare, all right, retirement. Those are topics that I'm really, really going to be reading to see where people stand on those particular issues. Um, so that's all I had for you today. Again, it's football Sunday. I don't know. People from the Jobu Sports Report, why are all our games at 4 o'clock this year? All right. Yeah, we need some more primetime games at night. All right. So thank you again for spending your very valuable time here at the Roland's Reviews YouTube channel. You know how we do it. Check out the links up under the video. If you write a comment, I always respond. I may not respond the same day, just depends on how busy I am, but I do respond to all my comments. Thank you, Kiana. And so, thank you again, and hope to see you here again next Sunday, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope everyone has an enjoyable week, and I'll see you next week.